Hi, it's Nikki from Energy and Emotion here. I just want to talk a little bit about one of the services that I offer, which is Emotion Code. I really want to talk about this because it's not very well known. And to me, it's an extremely powerful technique. I've really seen it help shift people's lives in so many ways. It's just incredible. It's a hidden gem, really, and I don't think the title really speaks. If I put something out on Facebook, you think emotion code, pass next. So I think it's a good moment to speak about it on video. So what is it? Emotion code really helps to release emotional blocks, trapped emotions behind a certain issue in your life, or it can just be in general. So it can range from people saying, well, I just feel blocked in my life. I don't really know where, but I just feel not brilliant. I don't feel very happy. I feel tired. Things like going as I want to go. Or it could be, I really need to make this decision, but something's stopping me. I daren't make the decision. I've had people with physical pain, like a pain in the shoulder, pain in the knee. It can be people feeling really blocked in a project, that they can't move forward with it, relationship problems, not getting on with their spouse or their children, sleepless nights. The thing is endless. I've also worked on people with dietary problems. It's huge. It's really, really big. One of my big successes was a woman, a client who came to me with shoulder pain that she had for 15 years. And she tried everything from chiropractor, physiotherapist, osteopath, acupuncture, the lot. And nothing shifted it. And in one session, we actually managed to shift the shoulder pain completely. That was a big success. Doesn't always happen that way. I've had other people where there's been reduction over a number of sessions. People also, when it's about a problem, they will say to me, maybe after a week, nothing's really changed. Then about 2 weeks later, that's it. Things start rolling and it really gets going. People find that it lifts blocks from their view. For me, it's almost like, we clean your glasses so you can see where you're going. It really just helps to make the way so much clearer. And emotional blocks, emotions get blocked basically during difficult moments in our life. If we go through a difficult period and we don't deal with those emotions, they get trapped in our energy field. And it's really like weights hanging around us, around our feet. The emotions was like a ball, like the size of, like, from an orange up to the size of a watermelon, that we end up trailing around with us. So imagine how that weighs you down in your life. And it's really, the thing when we bottle up emotions, we don't want to deal with it, so we just put them in, and they just build and build and build up, to this massive wall in front of us. And then we just can't really move forwards. So trapped emotions can manifest either as physical pain, when that trapped emotion gets in the energy field and lodges into your energy, creating, if you want, like a fissure or a bulge, and that creates the blocked energy, which creates, in the end, creates a physical pain. It can also, I was going to say something that's gone straight off the back of my head, off the top of my head, it's gone. I can't what I was going to say now, but yeah. So yeah, one of the ways that they can manifest, that was it. One of the ways it can manifest, like physical pain, it can also be that we can feel an emotion much more easily. If we have for example, a lot of anger trapped in our emotion field, we will feel anger much more quickly. We'll get triggered much more easily by that because the anger is ready, available. And yeah, it can also just generally block us on our way. Emotion-wise, we can get emotions that are blocked in this life. We can get emotions that are absorbed from other people around us. If somebody has, for example, a parent who is very angry a lot, we can actually absorb that anger. That anger is so projected out so often that we end up absorbing it into our field. So we can get absorbed emotions. We can get emotions that have been transmitted through the different generations. They can go inherited, that's the word I'm trying to think of, the French word, inherited. So they're inherited through generations all the way back. So if that person has not dealt with that emotion, it can actually get transferred all the way through down the generations. And that can create emotion that you don't identify with. It doesn't feel like you, but you feel it a lot. We also absorb emotions through the womb. When our mother is pregnant with us, we can actually absorb it from our mother. And we can also transfer it over from a past life. And also between lives. Some people get, this might not resonate for some people, that doesn't matter. But sometimes when people, before they come into this life, they get the sudden fear of like, oh my God, shit, I'm going to be human again. I remember last time, I don't want to go there. So it can come from all areas of life. We also get emotions that, if we go through a very emotional time sentimentally, we can actually create a wall made of emotions around our heart, which is called a heart wall. And we can actually work on that during a session. When we have a heart wall, it can actually stop us from really receiving or giving love, from having really close relationships. So it really reflects on the one-to-one. We have this wall that we're not being able to really connect with the person in front of us. And we can actually create lots of other emotional problems within relationships. And it's very interesting when we work on heart walls, because we work on the thickness. I like to work on how thick this wall is. And these heart walls, it's imaginary. Your unconscious just creates almost like an image to represent what this wall is. So we can get walls that are like in kilometers thick, in inverted commas, made out of all sorts of things. I've had walls made out of candy floss, out of cotton, out of tin foil, out of all sorts of things. I had one woman, I said, I'm getting plastic, and I'm getting your heart wall is made of plastic bottles. And she said to me, that's so weird. She says, I've got plastic bottles all over the house. I've got bags of them. I can't get rid of them. I collect them. They just make me feel secure. And after we worked on a heart wall and dissolved that heart wall, she threw out all her plastic bottles. But obviously that's just not real. It's it's the imagination and the objects the wall are made of. To me, it's almost what is represented in your life is almost as a comfort. So for some people, you've wrapped up in cotton sheets, candy floss. I don't know. Maybe we just people at candy floss because it tastes nice. So yeah, we can work on trapped emotions, inherited emotions, absorbed emotions, and also the heart wall. And how does it work? Well, basically, I connect to your energy, and I use muscle testing to identify emotions from a table of emotions. So I'd ask if you imagine this table, it has columns and it has rows, and in each box are 5 emotions. So I'd be asking your energy, okay, does Fred have a trapped emotion behind this issue? Is it column A? Is it column A? Column B? Which row is it in? And then when I find the box, I would find the emotion. So maybe sadness will come up as a yes. And I would then find the age this was blocked at. So was sadness blocked between 0 and 20, 0 and 10, 0 and 5, 5 and 10, until I get a yes for the certain age. And at this moment, we would probably talk. Throughout a session, you're there listening with me, but there's nothing you actually need to do. I'm doing all the work if you want. And in the moment we find the emotion, then we can talk about it. Okay, so what happened, when you were 7 years old, when you're feeling sad? And it ends up becoming like a bit of a coaching session where we look at the issue around that and release it, and then on to the next emotion. And in general, I tend to release maybe between 10 and 20 emotions in a session. And as it's because, we're working with the energy and I'm actually connected to your energy. So I'm working on me for you. It can be done distant. So I work with it by video, by telephone. I can do by email, but I don't actually like it. I prefer the contact and to really exchange over something. I find it much more effective. Saying that, I also do on animals. I've done with horses and dogs. I've worked on my cats. So obviously an animal can't talk. So I'll sometimes do that in an email. Though I have been to people's houses and worked on the animal where the owners give me feedback. So that's been often me quite useful and is very effective. I worked up with my cat one time and it was unbelievable with Harry. He'd had a very swollen lip. And so I did a motion code with him, and within the space of 1 minute, the swelling just went completely down. It was unbelievable. And yeah, animals absorb feelings just like we do. So it's a really, really powerful technique. And it's also really good at the moment, I think, with what's going on, because a lot of people are feeling anxious or worried. Can be anger coming up, all these negative emotions coming up, and I can actually help you to release those. I can't tell you enough how powerful this is. Endless people have written to me and said, "Wow, thanks, Nikki, you've transformed my life." And excuse me. And it's also people have also helped release stuff they've bottled up for so long and they just put to one side and they didn't want to remember it. And it really helped that when we talked about it, it really helped people to see so much more clearly what was happening in their life and why they were blocked and why a situation happened. It's unbelievable. It has me in tears sometimes to see how people just transform. It can take more than one session. And I don't tell people, okay, you must come back every week or you must come back every month. I let people decide for themselves. It's your responsibility to see how you feel. If you feel that one session was enough, that's fine. If you feel like, maybe 1 month down the road, you want to come back and you feel that, you can come back and see me. I have no program for it. I allow you to feel into that and to feel when you need to release more, because you know your body so much more than me. And you know the time it takes and where you're at and if you need to release more. So, I just do the work, but in the end, it's your responsibility to really feel into it and see if it's really helping you or not. I hope that helps to clarify things, what this is about. And if you've got any more questions, you can email me on, I can't remember my email now, artistreiki@gmail.com, artistreiki, all in one word, .com. No, artistreiki@gmail. Yes, artistreiki@gmail.com. And my website is nikkipeet.com. Nikki Peet, NICKYPEET.com. So I really look forward to speaking with you. You can, ring me up for a 30-minute chat if you want to see if we resonate to work together. Anyway, I hope to see you. Take care.